house with it. We don't respect fake jewelry and silly outfits. Window down, blowing out great tits. New York's J. Prince on Houston Street. I caught the bounce before my even bounced the beat. I took the hard way and man, it's the route for me. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would've crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go back. Meet Joe Black, meet Joe Black. Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birthed most of the chains in the game? Why would I?
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like the law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Lance laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm betting on myself, count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicking, but I rose to the top. Isn't it funny that the is built like a Maserati, yoga folding like origami? What? I walk the walk. I talk the talk. I be saying what I want. When I had no deposit, closet was looking real bare. Now I made a deposit, my closet's looking super rare. Drove it really far. Crazy how did just happen, wishing on a star. It's a celebration, I ain't talking Mardi Gras. With a little patience, you'll be eating Budokan. What you want? What you want? Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Never let a manufacture stack like that. And if it getting toxic, tell the boy fall back. If it was back then, I'd be tripping off that. Took a little time just to get me on track. I went from snotty to snobby, got it like immune to everybody, this is Stunt 101. Up in the club, throwing the 50s like hate it, love it, I just can't get enough. Labels from calling me, I said move if you call me please, or don't even bother me. They said oh my apologies, they keep calling and calling. I keep stalling and stalling. Rookie of the year, my career snowballing. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest.
The first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. This defense for the Saints, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Hey, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Prescott off play action. He'll buy some time right. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Prescott with a throw caught by Lamb. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a loss of 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
On 2nd down, Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. Now Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
Oh, my, that's a heck of a tackle right there on 3rd down, because they had to swing it out to the back and hope that he could make a play. But let's face it, in order for him to be there and be in that position, in order to make that play, he had to read his keys and not be fooled. Excellent job in the open field.
Running for it, here's Cook. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Cook turned away on 4th and goal. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield. And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on fourth down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right? Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. He's at the 40, 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards to play.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Tackles made at the Saints' 43. A good pickup there, a 22.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Play action now. Prescott. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 19. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. Looks good on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Oh, good-looking return set up here. The 40. The 20. He will score. Touchdown, Saints.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. And he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. To throw is Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On play action, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And some room to run now. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 16 in the Dallas first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
First down, Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well. When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. I don't know that you've got a wealth of options here now. 3rd down from your 2.
The question is, how much confidence do you actually have in various aspects of your team? In your defense, in case things go wrong. In your quarterback to take care of the football. Your offensive line to protect it. If you're feeling pretty confident about all those things, you might take a shot right here.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. It's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. He's going to air one out. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A shotgun snap, Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. He will return this from deep in deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And it'll be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Prescott on first down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you meant to the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off. Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, well, we look at the defense. They came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one. And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing on third down, Fields. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception. And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass. Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. On 2nd and 10, Prescott. He's going to try and go deep again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense. Final play of the half, Prescott. He's going to let it go again. And now here's another interception. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is nearly impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Prescott to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's fourth down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to go up top again. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken a 5-touchdown lead. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Here's Prescott. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw into the hands of Kirk. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. For the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. To the air again, Prescott. Open man, Lamb, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 39. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
From the gun, he'll hand this. Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Fields going to toss this quickly out wide, complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 22.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Room here to run. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
From the 24, Prescott. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Cowboys on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing. Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives. And I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a counter, you would have...
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
Garabay's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Garabay back out there now to send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting to...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's got this pretty close to a 1st down at the Cowboys' 15-yard line. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On for the field goal try, Jonathan Garabay. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Garabay's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they